can see. That is why a demand curve, this thing I want to tell you now, go and check your past question, and I'll bring out the question for me from the past question. Demand curve is dash in nature. Look at JAMB. Demand curve is dash in nature. They now put what? Now put concave, convex, infinite, infinite. Now put finite. That's the option. I've seen a question like this before in JAMB. Demand curve is dash in nature. Concave, convex, infinite, finite. As a student, you should know that the curve is like this. It's like this. It means it's what? It's convex in what? In nature. The curve is like this. It's like it's coming from the left down to the right. It means it's what? It's convex in nature. I will have tell you when it is concave. It's like this. Mostly concave is used in doing the what? Production possibility curve or production possibility what? Frontier. When they say it is concave, this is what it means. But when they say it is convex, this is what it means. That is how JAMB will apply question for you. They will not start telling you, I want the one when 35, no, JAMB will not ask you that. I'm here to come and tell you how to use application of economics in SAT, especially when you are doing JAMB examination. So this is a typical example of what they call what? A demand curve. But what I want you to understand fact from here is that a demand curve is what? Is convex in what? In nature. Thank you. Let's continue. Factors affecting demand. There's a place I'm rushing to. I want to rush down to the mathematical aspect and the graph aspect of economics. Okay, but wait. Before I go to the factors, I said I want to give like 3 types of graph. Yes, I remember. Thank you for reminding me. Now, let's go. This is another kind of graph in economics. JAMB student, this what I'm giving you now is what I want you to understand better. I've given you demand curve, right? As like this, it's convex in nature. Demand, right? Demand. There's something called change in demand and also change in quantity demand. What I want to be giving you now, I want to be giving you what you expect in examination and not what you don't need. As a JAMB student, you should understand one fact. JAMB will not start asking you define demand. It's an OBJ examination. Just to pick A, B, C, or D by testing your what? Knowledge. Now, this is what? A demand curve. If you check your past question, you will see a lot of things like this. There's no how you check your past question. Go and start checking from 1978. You will see a graph like this. But if you see a graph like this, as a student, you might not understand what it means. But let me put something for you to know that this is what the graph is talking about. And I'll add something like this. This is what they call a change in what? Demand. Hello, students? This is what they call what? A change in what? Demand. This D1 here is telling me that from this arrow here, this is pointing from here to this side, and also pointing from here to this side. If it is at this point, it means that the initial demand curve is what? This is the initial demand what? Curve. If it goes to D3, it means what? An increase in what? Demand. Are you following me? But if you come back to D2, it means what? A decrease in what? In demand. Can you see that? It goes right, it's increase. It goes back, is what? Decrease. Put that in your mind. Go and check your past question. Bring out all questions like this and let's solve it together. I will do that with you now. Now, can you see a decrease in demand and increase and decrease in demand? This is where I'll be taking you now. Because what JAMB wants is not that thing you are reading in your economics textbook. Don't just continue reading it. It is the application of that thing you are reading. JAMB will ask you. JAMB will never ask you what are the factors that affect demand. But they will ask you that factor in an application. All right. From here, I'll give you the information that you need to know about this one. The next one I've given you increase and decrease in what? In demand. Now, I'll also give you what I call change in quantity demand. You have the price here. Yeah, change in quantity demand is movement along the same demand curve. There's a movement along the same what? Demand curve. The initial one I gave you, that change in demand, is what? Total bodily shift of the demand curve to either the left or the right. If it is the right, it is what? Increase. And if it is the left, it's called what? Decrease. But change in quantity demand is a movement along the same demand curve. Is it clear now? Now, I will take you to one particular aspect. When you come across the question in your JAMB pack, factors affecting demand. As a JAMB student, I will not start telling you factors that affect demand. Price of other commodity, weather condition, blah, 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 blue. No. You all know that. But I will just let you understand one thing. The application you need to know about this is factors that affect demand and factors that influence demand. They are two different things. Factor that affect demand is the negative. Factor that influence demand is the positive. When I tell you factor that affect demand, it means that it is the negative what? Side. Factor that influence demand is the what? Positive side. When I say that, example, factor that affect demand, and I'll tell you price. Automatically, I'm telling that price in a negative what? Side. And I also say factor that influence demand, and I say price again. Price in the what? In the what? In the positive what? Side. This is what I'm saying. As a student, put one thing in your mind. Any topic in economics, and they are telling you what are the factors that in economics, any topic in economics, have it in your mind. When you say any topic in economics and they ask you what are the factors that affect in economics, even if you don't understand anything, understand what they call what? Government what? Policy. What I say? Government policy. Look at Lagos State many years ago, some years back, when government said that no Okada should plight the express again. What happened to Okada riders? That government policy, is it factor that affects or factor that influence? The both are factors, but that is what? Factor that affects Okada what? Riders. If government now come back and say you can ride Okada anywhere in Lagos State, what is happening there? It's a factor that influences Okada riders. Can you see that? There was a time again the government said, oh, if you want to ride Okada in Lagos State, you must have helmets. What is happening to the what? To the sales of helmets that time? Is it affecting them or influencing their sales? Automatically, helmet owner sellers, the government policy is influencing their what? Their sales. Everybody know that government policy is economics on its own. Now, if you don't understand anything in economics and they ask you what are the factors that do anything, just have it in mind that government policy is number one, anything you want to mention. Now, I want to take you straight to what they call elasticity of what? Demand. As a JAMB student, at this juncture, put down your mind. It is very, very important. I will give you this question. I will give you series of questions under it, and you practice with it and with other questions on your own. You know it already. I'm only telling you the application to it. Understand what I'm saying? Now, elasticity of demand. You all know the definition. It's a degree of responsiveness of changing price to change in quantity what? Demand. That's not what JAMB will ask you. What JAMB will ask you is this. The formula for elasticity of demand is what? I will use the elasticity of demand as what? E what? ED. Elasticity of what? Demand. That is percentage change in quantity demand over percentage change in price. It's only few questions in JAMB. You will see something like this. What you should expect and how to use it properly in JAMB is this. Elasticity of demand, percentage. Are you following what I'm saying? This is percentage. This is percentage here. Change. Mathematics students, you understand what I'm saying? There's no how you understand mathematics. Sorry, there's no how you understand economics without mathematics. Percentage change in quantity what? Demand over percentage change in what? In price. Now, I have converted this theory to mathematics. When they say percentage, it means 100 over 1, right? Now, when they say change, I will show you also, it means what? Q2 minus what? Q1 over what? Q1 times what? 100 over what? Over 1. Everything I have here is what I have here. Over P2 minus what? P1 over what? P1 times what? 100 over what? Over 1. Mathematics student. 100 over 1, we cancel 100 over 1, right? We are left with what? Q2 minus what? Q1 over what? Q over what? P2 minus what? P1 over what? Over P. When we say Q2 minus Q1, it means what? Change in what? Change in Q. Then we have it to be what? Change in Q over what? Q over what? Change in P over what? P. I would like to clean the board. From here now, I have what? Change in quantity over what? Quantity over what? Change in price over what? Price. Automatically, two fraction, mathematics. I have what? Change in Q over what? Q times what? P over what? Change in what? Change in P. Now, from what I have here, I will write this as what? Change in quantity over what? Change in price times what? Price over what? Over quantity. This is the formula for what? Elasticity of what? Demand. If you check economics past question in your JAMB, this is the formula that applies to many questions you see in your JAMB examination. That formula you see, percentage change in quantity demand over, no, that one doesn't work mostly in JAMB questions. So what you see mostly is what? Change in quantity over change in price times what? Price over what? Over quantity. Now, from here now, I'll bring past question. I'll be citing the year one after the other. And you go and confirm what I'm giving you now. Let's go to 2015, question 48. We have, if quantity demand is equals to what? 40 minus what? 4p. And price is equals to what? 4 naira.